There is an invisible architecture to the human presence that most people spend their entire lives completely ignoring, yet they are constantly controlled by its subtle, heavy influence. You have likely walked into a room and felt a sudden, inexplicable shift in the temperature of the social atmosphere without a single word being spoken. This is the manifestation of the human bioelectric field, a shimmering web of energy that radiates from your very core, acting as a silent herald of your internal state. For the man who constantly depletes himself, this field is a tattered gray veil, leaking power and inviting the world to overlook him. Before we go deeper into semen retention mastery, subscribe to this channel and join our Telegram community, linked below. You'll get guidance, insights, and exclusive updates designed to accelerate your growth. Stay connected. Your discipline, focus, and transformation begin right here. But when you commit to the path of retention, you are effectively plugging the holes in your spiritual and biological ship, allowing the pressure of your life forced to build into a literal wall. This is the truth about the aura that modern science is only beginning to tentatively and fearfully touch. The terrifying truth is that you have been broadcasting your weakness for years, a silent signal of defeat that every predator and peer has used to walk over your soul. You were a radio station, emitting nothing but static, wondering why no one was tuned into the frequency of your personal greatness. The aura is not some mystical fairy tale. It is the culmination of your hormonal health, your neurological stability, and the raw electromagnetic output of a heart that is no longer divided. It is the physical result of a man who has decided that his seed is worth more than a moment. As the weeks of discipline pass, the chemical composition of your blood begins to transform, carrying higher concentrations of nutrients and minerals to every cell in your body. This biological upgrade manifests externally as a literal glow, a clarity in the skin, and a terrifyingly sharp spark in the eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul, but the aura is the atmosphere of the soul, and it begins to expand far beyond the physical boundaries of your skin. You are no longer just a body moving through space. You are a localized event, a gravity well that pulls reality inward. You will notice that animals are the first to react to this shift in your frequency, often staring at you with a curious, unblinking intensity that feels almost human. They sense the return of a natural predator who has reclaimed his place at the very top of the local food chain. Children, still sensitive to the unseen world, will gravitate toward you with a strange trust, sensing the protective and stable warmth of a man who is internally whole. They are attracted to the purity of the fire you are carrying, a fire that most adults have long since extinguished. The reaction from other men is perhaps the most telling sign that your aura has reached a new, potent level of development and strength. You will encounter unexplained hostility from the weak and a sudden, quiet respect from those who are also walking the path of high-level self-mastery. There is a primitive mechanism in the masculine brain that recognizes a high vibration. Man is either a formidable leader to follow or a dangerous threat to be neutralized. Your presence forces every man in the vicinity to subconsciously re-evaluate his own rank and his own level of internal discipline. Women experience your aura as a profound magnetic pull that bypasses the logical mind and speaks directly to the ancient coiled DNA within their bodies. It is a feeling of weight and density that makes you appear larger and more significant than your physical dimensions would ever suggest. This magnetism is not based on your clothes or your bank account, but on the unmistakable vibration of a man who belongs entirely to himself. They sense that you are the source of your own light, and in a world of shadows, it makes you an irresistible and rare phenomenon. Inside your own body, the aura feels like a steady, humming heat that settles in the solar plexus and radiates upward toward the crown of your head. It is a protective shield that blunts the impact of negative comments, social anxiety, and the chaotic stresses of the modern urban environment. You begin to realize that you no longer need to try to be charismatic, because the aura is doing the heavy lifting for you at all times. Charisma is simply the outward flow of an abundant internal energy that has nowhere else to go but into the hearts of others. The voice begins to change, taking on a resonant, subsonic quality that commands attention without the need for increased volume or aggressive posturing. Each word you speak is carried by the weight of your retained essence, making your commands feel like inevitable decrees of a high sovereign king. There is a deep silence that begins to accompany your movements, a stillness that is far more intimidating than any outward show of forced masculine bravado. You are the eye of the hurricane, and people will naturally swirl around you, looking for the stability that only you possess. This energy signature acts as a filter, repelling the parasitic individuals who used to feed on your weakness while attracting the high-value opportunities you once chased. The universe itself seems to rearrange its furniture to accommodate the new space you are taking up in the physical and spiritual realms. However, the path is not without its emotional shadows, as the thickening of your aura often leads to a period of intense, soul-searching loneliness. You are moving to a frequency where few can follow, and the silence of the heights can be deafening to those who still crave the noise. You will face the test of the shadow, where your old, depleted self tries to claw its way back into the light of your new reality. It is a psychological war where the prize is the very energy field you have worked so hard to cultivate and protect from the world. The aura acts as a mirror to those around you, reflecting their own insecurities and hidden desires back at them with a startling and uncomfortable clarity. Some will hate you because your presence reminds them of the discipline they lack, while others will love you for the exact same reason. You must learn to handle this weight with a sense of humble responsibility, for a man with a powerful aura can inadvertently crush the spirits of the fragile. Your power is a tool for building, not a weapon for mindless destruction or the inflation of a hollow temporary ego. As you reach the 3-month mark, the aura becomes so dense that it can almost be felt by those standing several feet away from you. It is a tangible pressure, a psychological no-fly zone that ensures your boundaries are respected without you ever having to lift a single defensive finger. The suspense of this transformation lies in the realization that you are becoming something that is no longer entirely compatible with the average modern life. You are a relic of a more powerful age, a living testament to the heights that a man can reach through total, absolute self-control. You may find yourself weeping in the middle of the night, not out of sadness, but out of the sheer, overwhelming intensity of being truly alive. The numbness of your past life has been burned away, leaving a raw, vibrating connection to the very heartbeat of the entire living universe. There is a constant fear that a single moment of weakness could shatter this crystal fortress you have built within the center of your soul. The higher you climb, the further there is to fall, and the suspense of that potential drop keeps you eternally vigilant and focused. You are no longer a slave to the tides of desire. You are the moon that controls the tides, pulling the world toward your shore. This realization is both the greatest gift and the heaviest burden that a man can ever hope to carry in his fleeting human lifetime. The emotional end of this journey is the understanding that the aura was never about being better than others, but about being true to yourself. It is the peace of a warrior who has finally laid down his arms because he has become the very peace he was fighting for. If this video gave you real value, tap the thanks button. Your support helps me keep creating deeper content like this. Every thanks is a spark that keeps this mission alive. Your support means more than you know. Real wisdom deserves real energy. Drop a thanks to fuel the next level. But remember, the aura is not a permanent trophy. It is a living flame that must be fed daily with the fuel of your continued, unwavering discipline. If you ever blink, if you ever forget the cost of your power, the darkness will swallow the gold forever in a heartbeat. The world is watching you now, sensing the storm that is brewing just beneath the surface of your calm, collected, and radiant exterior. You are the master of the unseen, the architect of the invisible, and the journey has only just begun to reveal its most terrifying and beautiful secrets.